Welcome into the Nerd Nook. I'm your host, Evan Teagle. With me, like always, is Noah Bailey. So, we both finally watched the last episode of Invincible Season 3.
We
And,
gotta get one of those.
yeah, this
Oh
was
man.
pretty good.
Oh man. There's a little something in there. Man. Oh my gosh. Where do we start?
Yeah, like, I just want to start with the fact that I think I think a lot of the people who, like, most of the complaints I've heard about this season are people trying to say that the animation wasn't very good this season. And there, it's one of those things where, like, because it's not, the vast majority of the time, it's not like the absolute greatest thing ever. People, like to pick it apart and like undersell how good certain things actually are. Even so far as trying to go back to season one and pick apart the four good moments of that show that actually did look really good. Be like, oh, this season even had better animation. Like, no, there were literally like five sequences of the season one that looked really good, and the rest of the show was a slideshow. Whereas season two and three were definitely a lot more consistent. And I would argue season three even had a lot better animation than season two. I will say, though, also, I do think there were certain moments, especially during the Powerplex episode, which I still really like that episode.
Mm-hmm.
I do think there were certain moments of it that maybe felt a little constrained. Like fights were a little too linear, just things didn't look quite as good as they maybe could have. But clearly they were saving all of the budget for that last episode, which looked incredible.
Oh, dude. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you have to remember at the end of the day, I know it's an Amazon show, but like, there is a budget, and they definitely are like, okay, some of these episodes, some of these moments, they can kind of hold back so that the big moments you're gonna remember after the season's over,
Mm,
you're never gonna forget. I mean, that
yeah.
was
Yeah. It's like that's the kind of episode that I felt the season two was missing. The fight
mhm.
on Viraxis or whatever that bug planet was,
That
that
was
scene
really
was
good.
like close, but I felt even the finale of season two wasn't as bombastic as the finale of season one. And then this was basically just, how about we recapture the hype levels that season one got to with this fight, and they delivered. Like every single person on the planet was like, "Oh, wait till they get to Conquest," and like, yeah, it delivered.
Yeah, was hype, bro. I mean, it's one of those things that as soon as he showed up, you were like, "Oh gosh,"
Yeah,
and then you were like, "Yeah, I was right to be afraid. That was
hmm,
insane."
yeah. But I mean, I appreciate Mark actually locking in for once, like this entire season, even
Yes.
though they specifically told us he was getting stronger. We saw first episode, the tail end of like of a training arc, and then the rest of the show is just him getting his butt whooped. Like that seems a little
In
weird.
his defense, he fought some like these are not the same level of fighters he's fought in the past. To be fair, I mean, he fought a lot of impressive people. Not to mention, I mean, between clones of him or other versions of himself.
Yeah.
I mean, that dragon guy seemed pretty insane to the point where I feel like that would have given anyone issues. I mean, there's been some serious, but now, granted, like Doc Seismic's little bug people piecing him up is a little rough, but
Talk Seismic, I felt uh Powerplex probably
yeah,
should have been easier than he
I mean,
was.
well, it's hard because I feel like Powerplex is one of those. If you don't understand him, it could be a problem because it's kind of like. I mean, yes, you can hit him really hard, but if his whole thing is absorption,
But we know that Mark is faster than light. Like he went from the
yes,
moon back down to Earth in like a couple seconds. That is
yes,
incredibly fast. And then he just gets hit by lightning to the point where he just, like, I don't know. I
yeah,
feel
but
like he should be able to dodge a little better, but
I mean, yes, but I guess there's a difference between being able to move at a certain speed and be able to react at a certain speed, I guess.
I
But like,
guess.
but no, I mean, you are right. They are. I mean, I feel like there are moments he is definitely nerfed, but I feel like also Mark as a whole is just kind of not trying most of the time.
Yeah. I also just kind of wish I really liked the Invincible War episode with all the other marks, but I do wish there was just like one moment of him actually beating another. Like I know he beat the one with the mohawk, but then I don't know. I just felt like there were many other times when maybe he could have gotten a couple more hits in or actually taken one out or something. Because I think it would have been kind of interesting to be like, because these other marks just are the strongest in their universe, they don't really need to try. They don't really have much competition in their worlds. And since Mark has fought other Viltrumites, like I feel it would have been interesting for him to be able to take them on more easily. It is, it's hard because there's so many of them, but I feel it would have been fun if he was like uniquely capable of taking out other marks, but they just kind of didn't do that. But it's not a huge deal. I just, I just wanted Mark to be able to do a little more. Luckily, he did during the Conquest fight, but even more throughout the season. I wanted him to just do a little more to really have the audience prove to the audience that he has gotten stronger.
Yeah, and like show that he's definitely improved over since the last, like, some of the marks didn't have training arcs and stuff like that. They kind of just took over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, that last episode, just the way the animated Mark's hair was just on another level from previous episodes. Just all the impact frames, just all the different like set pieces and angles, and just it's just a very impressive fight.
No, they really did not waste a cent of that budget on that. They knew what they were doing. And I mean, and like, first of all, we got to talk about this man Conquest. First of all, I love the like no playing around. Just shows up. He's like, yeah, I'm the guy who they send to just be like, yeah, just take the planet. Like, there's no more talking. There's no more. He's like, yeah, I'm here. You're done. That's kind of the whole everything. There's no more chances, no more reason. And it's funny because like it's like a trend and things, and like, with anime and other things, like when you're giving it all you got and the bad guy's like, no, come on, you got this. Like, you can keep, like, when the bad guy's encouraging you to keep fighting, it's like, bro, it's over. Like, we're done. We're like, oh my god, there's this anime called Vinland Saga, and there's a guy who's an absolute demon called Thorkel, and basically there's like a point where like the other army's trying to fight him and they're just like too scared. He's like, no, you got it. He like gives the guy an axe. He's like, come on, man, you can do this. You got a chance. Like, it's truly just like, bro, it's like just off yourself. You're done. Like, it's like it's crazy because like, yeah, and like he delivers. I mean, he absolutely dogs everybody. Now I will admit, Oliver did good for what he could. I mean, he came in and got some solid hits, and then immediately got swatted like a fly. But still, I mean, all things considered, I know, right? I mean, literally just no, bad. Like, just like wow. Like the fact that he bounced off the pavement is insane.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like, oh man, that fight and bro, the beach, bro, again. They did this, man, again. Like, no. Bro, like, Mark has to be, like, completely traumatized. Like, there's no, like, you can't tell me he went through that with his dad, with the subway, has come back, and then he did it again. Literally, this time, he's the subway, and he just, oh, my God. Like,
man, I like how across those the last two episodes there were several different moments of like references to season one, where that Mark is in the base and oh no, blank his name.
Darkwing's leg.
Yeah, and Luckily, he
Yeah,
didn't,
he doesn't.
immediately blow
Yeah,
his brains out. But like,
yeah. I mean, I do like because he said the suit was like new and improved to like
uh,
fight Viltrumites. So his leg still rips in half, but I mean, at least his head doesn't smack into brains. But man, yeah, there was a lot of that. Also, yeah, that mark destroyed the guard. I mean, the taking a mortal's head and throwing it through it was like crazy.
is there some lore that I'm missing that made it so that every time Immortal dies, he gets weaker? Because this Immortal is a fraud, man. Like, the guy went toe to toe with Omni-Man in season 1 and then just can't get a single hit in throughout the rest of the show.
I mean, okay, in his defense, I mean, he's literally fighting Viltrumites. I mean, you know what I
He
mean?
lost to the Mauler twins.
Okay, yeah, that one you can't. Yeah, that one's on you. That one's on
They
you.
were scene 1 villains back in season
They
1.
were. I mean, to be fair, they jumped them the first time. I mean, they had the whole team. But
Like, I don't care if you have a gun that shocks your nerves. I feel like Immortal maybe should be immune to that, but also
or at least dodge.
or dodge or I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, there was so many times when Immortal just like had a chance to do something.
Yeah, it's hard out there, man. Like when other people just getting good, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, more. I mean, kind of all the Guardians, kind of. I mean, they all the new Guardians kind of
Oh
suck.
yeah.
To
Yeah.
be
This
honest. I mean,
entire
if not, which I kind of like because, like, yeah, when the world's best heroes get taken off the board, you don't just have like, you know what I mean? Like if the Justice League all gets killed, I mean, the Teen Titans are good, but like if Darkseid shows up, we're gonna be in trouble.
true, but then you have people that were even in the lineup during the tryouts, but then also people during the Invincible War, like that Wolfman, like that suit of armor guy in space who took out one by himself.
Yeah, that's
like,
pretty insane.
Why are they not on the team?
Well, I mean, that's probably something we're gonna see in the next season. Well, especially with recent team losses. Like we're probably gonna between Rex and Ray, and I mean, they're probably gonna recruit some new ones anyway. Not to mention they also just suck. Darkwing's probably gonna be out for a while with that leg.
Immortal and
Black
Kate
Samson, who I still don't really know. I don't know.
strong.
Black Samson's kind of. I think I don't know what I don't know what like half like I don't know what his or Bulletproof's powers are still. I assume
Bulletproof is basically Mark, but a
indestructible.
little weaker.
He doesn't seem like it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not noticing. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I feel like the Guardians don't be fighting like that. Like,
No.
I mean, like the ones we do know, I see them fight. I can't remember a single time I remember Bulletproof really fighting. He's kind of just also there. And I mean, Shapesmith's not dead.
No,
I guess.
no.
But like, I don't know. He's not really that helpful.
No.
He's more of a technical villain or technical hero.
Yeah. So,
but
yeah, hopefully they recruit some people with range. Would be nice because for a while there, their only range was throwing clones at people. Because
or like
I guess Rex
coins or stuff. But like, which honestly aren't really that strong, honestly.
No.
So it's kind of like, eh. But
yeah, like doing that one giant explosion, like touching that big panel and having that explode, but it didn't do anything.
Yeah, I feel like you should do that more. Like, what? Just like touch the floor and then have everyone fly up or something.
Yeah, maybe it takes a lot of energy out of them or something. But
I guess, but like, I don't think exploding coins ain't gonna do it, my boy. Like,
yeah.
Also, didn't he have like a ray gun in his hand or something?
Yes, it was mentioned at the beginning of this season that his hand was malfunctioning. I guess they never fixed that.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, all that budget in the U.S. government, they can't fix.
Yep.
Cecil and them won't fix it. No, thanks, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, but man, that's Conquest guy. I mean, he came through.
Yes.
But a hurting on Mark.
Yeah.
And they did not like the brutality of this show. Like, you think they're done. They're not done. I mean, the one thing, even almost as bad as the beach scene, is like the time where he like knocks Mark through a building and you just see this one guy just fall like 40 stories, just face plant. And you're just like, jeez, like that was. We didn't. That could have been implied. You didn't have to show that. almost as bad as that in season 1, where like the Powerplex's like I think sister or whatever,
Sister,
he's just
yeah.
got the arm,
Uh-huh.
which, gosh, that messed with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I mean they did not hold back. But Mark, I mean, finally, which I don't know why it took this long to learn the lesson of like some people just gotta go. Like, there's no, you can't, I don't, well, it's weird to me because, like, he doesn't really try to talk without villains, but he also just kind of expects them to not be villains if he hits them hard enough. Like, that's very, like, I don't know what his plan here is. Like, I don't really get it.
I I kind of go back and forth about like my like exactly how I feel about no kill rules because when it comes to Batman, absolutely he believes that there's good in everybody and like Arkham Asylum is specifically there to rehabilitate his villains. Someone like Daredevil, who at his core is a Catholic and believes redemption, just at his core. But then, someone like Invincible, who, yeah, sure, the average person, you don't just want to kill randomly, but when there's like interdimensional demons
Right?
coming after you, like
Like,
maybe,
actually.
yeah, like maybe you can go a little harder on.
Well, my thing too is like there's no redemption for people at a certain point, and even if there is, the amount of effort and time it would take would cost more lives. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Even if there's a chance to redeem, like Conquest, for example, it's like Conquest has already killed so many people at this point. Like, it's not like it, especially if it's this hard to kill somebody. We just need to like just put them down. Like, we don't have time to like talk no jutsu. We just gotta put them in the like.
Yeah.
This not, yeah,
Like,
like and
yeah, especially since Omni-Man kind of gave him that pet talk back in the middle of season 2 when he was
mhm.
fighting that one lady, Ultramite. Like, I feel like that should have been the start of his lesson to, start not holding back. But then he just kind of kept holding back.
And it's weird too because it's like I understand you're young and you might have like certain ideals of what you think a hero is, but it's also like, hey man, if you don't do this, the entire world is gone. Like, not kidding at all. He has been like
Yeah.
gloating to your face about how he's going to kill every single human one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to do, like, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. It feels very like weird to me that you're like, there would be like, if someone's threatening the planet, there should be no holding back in any capacity. And like,
Mm-hmm.
again, within like, yeah, like if they can actually do it. Yeah, if it's just a crazy guy just like, I'm gonna kill everybody. I mean, like, assuming he can, take him off the board 100%. Now, I know Cecil's whole thing, which I was on board with until now, is like, oh yeah, we can use people. I'm like, okay, yeah, the keeping Conquest is like incredibly dumb. I
So
don't
dumb.
there's no version of that works out well
No.
at all. He's
Like,
way too powerful.
any number of tons of concrete that he's under isn't enough.
Does
Like,
matter.
on that other planet, the second episode where when Omni-Man was just obliterating that entire planet, that rock he was holding up, I guarantee you that rock was heavier than what
Yeah,
Conquest is being held up
holding
right
it
now.
with one hand, by the way.
Yeah,
Like, not sweating. Like, I mean, that's kind of what I'm saying, bro. And
yeah.
like, that's what I'm saying. And the thing too is like, he's the worst one. Like, he's the guy the other Viltrumites don't like. You know how
Mm-hmm.
bad you gotta be for the other Viltrumites to be like, nah, I don't mess with Conquest. Like, you know how crazy you have to be that strong.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nah, man. Like, he only got one hand and he's the scariest one. That's how you know, bro. We're not doing
Yeah.
this. Like, and like, oh, we can use him for what?
What? He'd be more useful as a robot android. Like, just
Nah, bro. Nah, that body needs to be shipped to the sun one way. No chance. Like,
mm,
like there, no, there's no version of that works out. Like, I get Cecil wants to be prepared, and like, yes, I know Mark's not the only option in some capacities, but I don't know, man. Like, especially like, I mean, not to be mean, but like, seriously, you don't know enough about Viltrumites to know if he might not come back. You know what I mean? For all you know, he might wake up. Like,
I
I
mean,
understand there's a hole in his head, but like, I mean, these guys can literally, bench press planets. So
his goal is for him to wake up and then tell him everything about Viltrum, but why would he tell you? Why would he tell you
yeah,
anything?
especially this guy who like is clearly not like normal. Like he does not care. He would rather everything just die than help.
Yeah.
No,
I have a
oh
feeling
man.
it's going to take more than a sonic, like pulse device in his head to keep him down.
Listen, I'm like, well, my thing is, I mean, he could spit on you and like kill you with it, apparently. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's strong. So I'm like, this ain't
Mm,
gonna work. But
no.
we'll see how that goes. But no, I mean, just an absolute brutal fight. I mean, literally this close to ripping little Oliver in half, like actually, like you can
Yep.
see him starting to like. Ugh. Not also, I understand Eve's a very important character, but like, there, how do you survive that, bro? Your intestines are looking like the little like car salesman thing, like flying out of your body as you fall, God knows how high, and you survived. Like, I understand her powers are essentially she can rewrite like reality on an atomic level, basically.
Yeah.
So I get how, in theory, you could do that, but I'm also like, how can you do that when you're basically dead? Like,
Right. And like,
eh,
I, I guess it has to be a thing where like, as long as her brain is intact, she can reform the rest of her body.
right?
I guess. Although I will say, I can buy a lot of stuff with her power, but shooting a big beam seems a little not in what her powers usually do. Like,
Well, that's the thing. I mean, her powers are kind of. I mean, essentially, they're just she can make anything out of anything because she can, as long as
mm,
she understands the like atomic components of how to make something. Which I'm like, you really understand your body that well that you can reshape your organs and everything to be in the right place after a hit
I
like
guess.
that in your head, like
Yeah.
on the fly before
Mm.
dying, is something. But
But you
I
can
don't know. I
clearly
mean,
tell that the vast majority of the season's budget was dedicated to this last episode because up
yes,
until this point, almost everything Eve did was just create pink barriers.
shields and
That's it.
yeah,
And in this episode, even though the previous episode, all the stuff she did this episode would have been nice against evil marks and stuff. No, like big suits of armor, giant flails, just like a bunch, just so much stuff all at once. Like that's how I want her to fight all the time. But
that's
then
pretty
last
awesome.
episode, barriers. Like that's okay.
I mean, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. But yeah, I don't know. It was a little far fetched, but I mean, also like I understand like this is a very important character for the story, so like yeah, you got to keep her going.
Hmm.
But man, I ain't gonna lie though, I'm gonna miss me some Rex. I'm not gonna lie, that
Yes,
was
yeah,
definitely the funniest character, which makes me
one of
sad.
the best well-written characters in the entire show. Like I honestly didn't
Absolutely,
really like him at first, and then over time, I just were
he
really
got
liking him.
great character development. He had the funniest lines for sure, and I mean the
Mm,
delivery too. I mean, it's like
yes.
great voice acting. Obviously, I mean
Mm,
you knew immediately. You really saw the cast. You're like, oh yeah, this is gonna be
nice. Yeah.
good. He's exactly who you think he is, and he's very good at it. Oh man, yeah, he will be missed. But I did love the character development. You kind of knew though, especially with the whole thing. Oh, I'll be right back. I'm like, oh well,
No.
that ain't
Like
good.
he's finally in a happy place. Well, he's dead. Sorry.
I'm like, yeah, pretty much, right? I was like, oh, I've seen this before. Uh oh.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's pretty. But no, man. I mean, they did a real. I mean, I really like this season. I know, some people, last season kind of ended not as strongly as some would hope, but this season definitely I felt really good about. I like how there's still a lot, like as they show at the end, like they usually do. Like there's still a lot of stuff going on that,
Hmm.
like, oh yeah, I forgot, like the whole like Martian Starro thing
Yep, that's the
that's still
thing.
going on. Like I completely forgot about that.
Hmm.
100%. Obviously, Alan and Nolan have gotten out of their Viltrumite prison. I assume, honestly, that's how I thought they were going to be Conquest at first. Like, I did not think Mark was going to win that fight at all. So I thought it was going to be the last second they were going to get jumped, and I was like, but but I'm sure that'll happen later.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty exciting. I mean, there's a lot going on still, and I'm excited just to see how it goes. But I'm also kind of like, man, that was a lot.
Yeah, and apparently the little bit of the end with Dark Blood, that's going to be a show exclusive thing. It was something they wanted to put in the book but couldn't get it to work at the time. So now they're going back and actually fleshing out that story they wanted to originally, which I am all for.
Yep. No, I did not believe. Like at first, I was like, "Oh, is that freaking Dark Blood?" I was like, "Oh snap, they're bringing it back!" Like, yeah, hype about that for sure.
Yeah, and they confirmed that all of the voice acting is already done for season 4, and season 4 is coming out sometime next year. So
Oh well.
Yeah. So they.
Okay, it sounds like. I mean, that sounds like a very reasonable timetable. If they can deliver, I mean, there's still a lot of time, and things could happen. But I am all for it.
Absolutely, yeah. Even if there is breaks between seasons, I don't think there's going to be the 3, almost 4-year break that was between 4.
And then half season break for 4 months. Oh.
I don't think that's going to happen again.
Absolutely awful.
Yeah. Yeah. It ended good. It ended that last episode especially reminded me why I love this show. I was obviously liking it up to that point, but that episode just absolutely was like, yes, this is the kind of thing that I come to the show for. Good.
No, it was really, really good.
Yes. Okay. Moving on to a couple other little, smaller news here. There is a rumor that Microsoft is apparently going to be getting into the handheld market potentially later this year.
Ooh.
I find this very funny. This is just a rumor; it's not confirmed or anything. But
okay,
I find it funny for several reasons. Because their most recent big marketing campaign was essentially trying to convince convince everybody that the Xbox you have, the Xbox is an Xbox, but also your computer is an Xbox, your phone is an Xbox, your Steam Deck is an Xbox. So you were already trying to prime your audience to think of other devices as your Xbox. So it's a little weird to be like, the Steam Deck is an Xbox, but also this other handheld that we make is a real Xbox. That's, I don't know. That seems a little counterintuitive to what you're going with. But the reason why they're saying that XYZ thing is an Xbox is because all of their games are just on everything anyway. So I don't really see a reason why they need to have Xbox exclusive handheld when the Steam Deck or the ROG Ally or whatever other handheld or whatever device is essentially already an Xbox. But okay.
I mean, I don't really get what Xbox or Microsoft, I guess, is doing with any of this. Honestly, I'm just kind of what's the plan here? Are we trying to I don't know. Maybe I'm missing it. But.
Yeah. So there's 2 reasons why I think this is overall not a good idea. The first, and I think most obvious and apparent, the Switch 2 is coming out soon.
Right.
We're potentially 2 months away from it launching, assuming the rumors are true. It's coming out in June, which the reveal of it is coming out next Wednesday. I am so excited for that. So yeah, we'll know in less than a week when that's coming out, how much it'll be. I guarantee whatever the Switch will be less expensive than this Xbox,
Agreed.
and just it has this brand name to it that is already extremely successful. Whereas this Xbox handheld is, assuming it's called the Xbox Portable or Xbox whatever, it's still the Xbox brand is not at its is not exactly peaking in popularity at this point. So if their plan is to directly compete with the Switch, it's not going to happen. And the reason why I know that is because back when the Steam Deck launched in October of 2021, and shortly after, there were a couple of other different uh, Steam Deck like handheld PC things, the Asus ROG Ally, the Lenovo Legion Go, and like one or two others that are kind of in that similar vibe. Yeah. Um, Across all of, I think the numbers we have are for all three of those combined. Over the past 3.5 years of being on market, these numbers are as of early March. Do you want to guess how many millions of units all three of those combined have sold?
Oh gosh. Nah. What?
So apparently, every other handheld PC thing has sold approximately 6 million units total
Like collaboratively?
combined. That's what the
Oof.
reports are saying. The
That is
Steam
not
Deck,
many.
the Steam Deck by itself is about 3.5 to 4 million,
Oof.
and that's Steam.
Yeah. Right.
Like PC gaming, like it's
Right.
Steam.
Right.
Granted, Steam Decks aren't really sold directly to consumers in the same way that Switches and Xboxes are. They're not just on store shelves. You got to like go either
Yeah.
through Steam or online retailers and stuff. But
Yeah.
still, you would think for how many people use Steam, you would think a good amount of those people would want to play their games, portably. But apparently not.
I mean, if you get this like $1,000 like computer set up, I mean, yeah, I'd probably want to use that too. I
Yeah,
mean,
like
it's
paying
kind of
$500 just to play my potentially not be able to play all my games on the Steam Deck. Like,
yeah, that's kind of my thing. It's like if I can just play it on this, that because people, it's not just about the setup. It's like it's their setup, and it's I
mm-hmm,
did this, and you know what I mean. So it's like, yeah, you're gonna use it. Like you're not like, I can just just wait till you get home.
mm-hmm. Yeah, so not only will the Switch be in direct competition, but also the other competition that's out there has already kind of massively failed. Like maybe they're within their own internal projections, but like you still want to at least have some kind of market share more than more than the fact that it's been 3.5 years and only sold 6 million, which the Switch alone sold 1 million, over 1 million units last quarter. In one quarter, selling over 1 million units.
Yeah, that's not
In
gonna
its
go well
eighth
for.
year in the market. Like,
Yeah.
uh, no, actually, I'm sorry, I undersold it. I was thinking of something else. During the previous quarter, which would have been the holiday season, I think it sold 4.6 million. So yeah, 4.6 million units from October to December last year. So more than Steam Deck did in 3.5 years.
Right.
Um, so yeah, I we'll see. Maybe it'll come in at a good price. Maybe there's some secret sauce about it we don't know. But
Uh,
uh, as of right now, I'm looking forward to the Switch 2. So I'm not really, I don't really
yeah.
care.
Yeah.
Um, Speaking of Switch 2, there was actually a Nintendo was a wild company. There was actually a Nintendo Switch 1 Focus Direct yesterday, 6 days before the Switch 2 presentation. Um,
Mm.
there weren't any like none. There were no like major game announcements that really spoke to me directly. There were a couple of like more niche games that did have a pretty big following. But one very interesting thing about that direct, um, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond had like a full, big reveal trailer at that direct. It honestly looks really good, especially for a Switch game.
Hmm.
And ever since last June, wherever like their summer direct was last year, the Metroid Prime 4 has just had a generic 2025 release date. And then this trailer came out, and the end of it just said 2025. That I feel like at this point, where a quarter of the way through the year, I feel at this point they should have a release date for that game that is coming out this year,
Yeah.
which makes me strongly believe that that game is going to show up again at the Switch 2 Direct. And
Most
they
likely.
didn't show the release date because it's going to release the same day as the Switch 2 as a launch game, like cross game, like Breath of the Wild was for the Switch.
Ooh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that'd be perfect because assuming the Mario Kart that was shown in the reveal trailer is also going to be at launch, I think having a big multiplayer game with Mario Kart and then also a big single player
Single
game with
player.
Metroid, that just I
That's
think those can
perfect.
coexist very nicely. So
Oh, that'd be so sick.
yeah, yeah, like and just I'm just ready for the Switch 2 reveal presentation to happen just because I'm ready for rumors to stop. As I told you before, there have been rumors about a Switch Pro or a Switch 2 ever since the Switch came out. And like every single month you know for over 6 years now, comfortably at least 2019, every single month there's been a rumor. It's like, oh, next, and Switch Pro is coming out this year, or they're thinking about Switch Pro, or this game is actually running on Switch Pro. Clearly wasn't. That was not a thing. So many people were like, "Oh, that Mario and Rabbids game, that was not Ubisoft's thing. Oh, it's actually running on Switch Pro." No, it clearly wasn't. It looked just like that on Switch. Um, and then ever since the the January reveal, every single day it's a new rumor
Mhm.
about what the C button will do and
Yeah.
how the mouse control work and release date and price. And I just want it. Come on.
Yeah, you gotta just, we're in that time of year where it's like no one has anything outside of the source. It's just people talking and, oh, new report. Someone thinks this allegedly could happen. It's like,
Uh-huh.
that's not news.
This person
That's
on
just
Reddit
gossip.
guessed this number and
Right,
didn't get
yeah,
a report. I'm like,
literally, yeah.
stop
One time,
that.
this person on Reddit 9 years ago happened to luckily guess when this came out. So surely everything they say now is gospel. And it's like,
Mhm.
um, no, not really.
And
But
I
okay.
I love it how the tweets are always report direct rumored for this or like price rumored to
Yes,
be this. Like, what do you mean
dude.
report? It's a rumor.
The
How are you
no,
reporting on a rumor? Like, what does that mean?
the clickbait is insane these days. Like it's about anything. Like that literally,
Yeah.
like when it's slow and they know we're just waiting for like actual news, it's just all this like, yeah, man, report. Allegedly, this could happen if you think about it.
Mhm.
Oh, this person's clearly saying something not true just to get clicks. It's
Right.
like, oh my gosh, yeah, Switch 2 is actually not happening. It's all a root. Yes, it
What?
is. Like, what? But you clicked on it.
Yep.
Oh, like,
I've got a report for you. Switch 2 will be coming out on May 9th and it'll be $400. Clip it.
flip it,
To the
flip it,
present. It's fact
100%.
now.
Yeah, it is factual. It's like, who is this? Who said that? Oh, it's just some guy. Does he
Yeah.
work for Nintendo? Nope.
Nope. Running
Does he have?
anyone.
Does he know anything anyone else would not know? He does not. Why are we talking about this? Because reasons.
Yeah. So that's next week. It'll finally be here.
Hope.
Speaking of things that might finally come out, um, either last year or the year before, I don't remember exactly. There was a big debacle around the movie Coyote versus Acme that was
Mm-hmm.
done, but then Warner Brothers just decided to shelve it for no reason other than just to have a tax write off. Um, so, so there's been this major campaign ever since that happened for them to actually release it, and apparently, uh, Catch-Up Entertainment, who were the distributors behind the Looney Tunes The Day the Earth Blew Up, which I'll talk about more in just a moment, apparently they're actually in conversation with Warner Brothers to potentially buy the distribution rights for that. So, that's cool.
It is very cool.
Yeah. Like, I went to see The Day the Earth Blew Up last weekend. That movie's delightful. If you like Looney Tunes at all, I think you'll enjoy that movie. Even if you don't, I think you could still find an enjoyment out of it. Um, but just seeing that movie, just the passion. I know Ketchup Entertainment didn't make it, but just seeing the passion behind that movie just makes me feel like there easily could be space in this modern era for Looney Tunes to thrive if it was actually allowed to exist mainstream. Have actually had a bigger marketing campaign because Ketchup Entertainment they didn't. I don't know like what all exactly they did or before this, but they're not like they're not one of the major studios. They don't have millions of dollars to advertise something. Most people didn't even know that movie came out. In fact, at the theater I went to, um, it, have you ever been to a theater and went to go see a movie and they tell you the theater number and you have to go down like a long hallway, take a right, go down a long hallway, take a right, and it's in like a back corner somewhere and the seats suck.
Yes.
And it's just like clearly movies aren't supposed to be seen in this.
Yeah, it's like clearly the like theater they like forgot about and they just put like the weird indie movies to just say that they have them.
Yeah, exactly. That's what this one was. Like we got to the end of the hall, it was like I don't even like where is it like around another corner. It's like oh, there it is. Like okay. Um, it was just me, my roommate, and then two other guys in the audience. So like we all had fun watching it. I wish more people had seen it. Um, but regardless, clearly Ketchup Entertainment has a passion for Looney Tunes if they're willing to distribute. The Day the Earth Blew Up probably at a loss at this point. It's only going to make like 10-ish million units worldwide, which is disappointing. But they're more than willing to finally allow people to actually see Coyote versus Acme. Please, please do that. It's done. It deserves to be seen. John Cena is in that movie. He deserves to be seen.
But will we see him?
No, he won't.
But no, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, that movie is just it's delightful. Like I said, I recommend watching it at some point if you just know of Looney. It's mostly about Daffy and Porky, but even then, it's 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 everything I like about the essence of Looney Tunes for an hour and a half, and it's a very good hour and a half. So
yeah, they put a lot of love into it, even though it's not going to get the love it deserves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm I I really like needle drops in movies when they feel like either super motivated by what's happening or like or it's funny or just some movies like Suicide Squad just had needle drops just every 5 seconds just to say they had all these songs in them, and then something like Guardians, I feel every song is very meticulously placed to thematically fit with what's going on. This movie had two needle drops, and they were both amazing. like, like but also it's in animated movies you don't really like you aren't really primed to expect to hear real like mainstream music in animated movies, and like the two they picked were just so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like a lot of really good stuff just doesn't get the respect it deserves sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. There was a like I don't even know how much I exactly want to talk about this, but there was a Avengers Doomsday live stream thing that happened the other day that essentially revealed who all's going to
Mm-hmm.
be in that cast. And I don't even really know if it's worth talking about because, like, essentially it boils down to pick a character who has been in a previous Marvel movie,
Yeah, which is
like current or pre MCU. They're probably in this. Every X-Man ever. Um, yeah, pretty much. I think there's at least 50 different people who were cast in this movie so far. So, and apparently there's going to be more announced later. So, it's about what we expected with this, big multiversal conclusion
oh
thing.
yeah,
So, yeah,
gonna be epic.
yeah,
Probably.
it probably supposedly coming out next year. We'll see if that happens.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like the more I understand, they're like they're probably working on it, but it's also like the closer that gets, the more I'm like I feel like that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, like it started filming this week. It's coming out a year and 2 months from now. I know the way that Marvel movies are made. Most of the movie is made in previs, so like most of the CG is at least partially done already. They just need the mocap people to like finalize it. So I I don't I'm not necessarily concerned about only being a year before release, but when you compare that to something like Superman, where James Gunn finished filming that movie last summer and gave the studio a year to actually make it, and that's just a movie about one ish character. This is a movie about possibly 100. Like I just I don't I don't know. I think they could get away with delaying it another year, especially if something like Doctor Strange 2, 3 doesn't come out before then. Shang-Chi 2 has been floated out to come out sometime kind of soon. Spider-Man 4 is coming out next year as well. Like I think I honestly think you should probably want a couple of other movies to come out before the next big Avengers thing at this, like, for how things are setting up at this point, unless all of those storylines are to be concluded in Doomsday and Secret Wars, which seems a little bloated. Like, I don't know. I feel like maybe get some more movies out that we know should be coming. That way there's no confusion about, like, oh, is this actually happening before, during, after? Is it a different universe, timeline, whatever? I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
Mm. Yes, we'll see.
Yeah, but regardless, I think the Russo brothers have had some misses with their Netflix movies or whatever, but they're 4 for 4 with Marvel stuff, so I trust them when it comes to Avengers movies.
Yeah,
So I think the movie itself will be good, but you know, we'll see when it comes out, possibly next May.
allegedly. We'll see if that actually
Allegedly, yeah.
happens.
Although if we go off the track record of Russo brother Marvel Avengers movies, it probably will actually come out a week before in the last week of April, because that's what happened with Avengers War and Endgame. It was like originally announced for May 5th, and it came out April 27th or whatever. So, well, we'll see. Okay. Is there anything else you wanted to bring up or discuss before we sign?
Talked about Invincible. Talked about. I think that's everything. Am I? Is there a new Pokemon trailer or something that came out
There
recently?
was. I There was a new Pokemon trailer. I really liked everything that was in the trailer. I really
Okay.
liked how they more so showcased the battle mechanics. They essentially the way the game is going to be set up. There's a day and night cycle where during the day you go out to the wild zones, catch Pokemon, do little side quests, and then
Mhm.
at night those wild zones turn into battle zones where you go into them and like that's when you actually fight different trainers and you lock eyes and do a little battle. And as you beat trainers, your rank will go up throughout these nighttime tournaments. And they had this very fun thing where like if an NPC is just walking around and you actually sneak up on them and attack their Pokemon first, you get a boost. Like they actually take that damage. You can get another hit in. So that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, that's like it's like RPG. Like I forgot what that like the term is, but yeah, it's a
Sneak
pretty
attack thing. Yeah.
yeah, kind of yeah, that's
Mm,
pretty cool. But they can they do it to you also though, and then
probably. I
yeah,
imagine. Yeah.
that's like a final. I know that's like a Final Fantasy thing in some other
Mm,
games.
yeah. So yeah, like everything about what we've seen of the game, I'm digging. However, I want. It's weird that we've had two full trailers of this game so far and haven't seen any new Mega evolutions, or new like regional forms or anything. Like I know the last Legends game kept a lot of those regional forms and stuff close to the chest until it actually came out, but I don't know. I feel like one of these trailers should have ended with like one new mega form or something, just to
Mm.
tell people that to get your hopes are warranted. It will happen because I obviously like we discussed before. There's so many rumors about what different Pokemon will get new forms or mega forms or whatever. Um, like it's set in the region where Mega Stones were first introduced, so I feel it only makes sense for that to happen. But the fact that we got two trailers so far without showing that element, I'm not worried. I'm just a little confused why they haven't shown it if it is in there. So yeah, but all that to say, even if that isn't in there, I do think the game itself will be very good. So
Yeah. When is that supposed to drop?
uh, it just says late 2025. I imagine the Friday before Black Friday, whenever that's when Pokemon games usually come out. So it's like
Uh,
that's 7 November 21st probably.
okay.
Yeah. All right. Anything else?
That's all I've got.
All right. So with that, we will see you all next time.
Take care.